What is happening, folks? Welcome to Hunting with Tripler. I went to garage sales. I found a mountain of electronics. There is going to be massive profit today. Stick around.
I collect so many things. Would you like to share this journey with me? I will show you the prizes I got today. So come along with me, come on and join the chase. Yeah!
So in today's episode, I went back out garage selling and I found a bunch of good items, but they were primarily electronics. And I'm talking like a mountain of electronics. The size of some of these things can be a deterrent for anyone wanting to buy them, if they work. And if you're willing to put in a little bit of time and you're willing to ship big bulky items, the returns can be fantastic. Now what you'll also find in this episode is a new arch rival. Now typically this has been competition that I've seen at garage sales all of the time, and we've usually been pretty respectful. But in this one, it didn't turn out that way. You'll enjoy that clip. If you want to see a mountain of electronics that's worth over $1,000, you are going to appreciate this. If you like my content, if you like me, if you think I'm silly, if you think I'm crazy, make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notifications, because there's lots of content coming from Tripler all the time. And stick around to the end because the profit meter took a hit this week.
It's kind of cold. It's cold on a July weekend. You can tell I haven't had any coffee yet, right? Because I can barely keep my eyes open. It's only 6:25. I haven't been early garage selling in weeks. So I think the last time I went, last video I put up, I think I started like at 7 or 7:30. There was no motivation to go simply because I have so much quality inventory right now that I'm thinking to myself, all right, well, I'm gonna go just because you guys need to see some good stuff. And let's show you what Southern California garage sales late July look like. Yeah, I hear you. I know.
So it's just like make offers and
Okay.
kind of leave.
Is the iPhone reset?
So that was my dad's. He passed away in 2015.
Okay.
And nothing was done. It was just put back. I don't know. My mom.
Okay, gotcha. All right. They're as good as paperweights if you can't reset them.
Really? I'll tell her. Then just throw them away.
Yeah, they're hard. I mean, because Apple, if they do such a crazy job of like, not allowing access into, because if it's someone else's old,
right, could have important stuff in there.
Yeah, and so it's great if someone steals your stuff. No one is ever going to get access to it.
Right.
That's the way it goes.
So that was all my dad. We had a whole stereo system hooked up, which is ancient.
Sure.
Everything is ancient, but everything was kept really well.
How much are you looking for?
What is it?
It's a VCR.
How much would you pay for it?
$5.
Sure. And I don't know what part. My mom said she organized. She's super organized.
She's very organized.
In the boxes that goes to whatever.
I would probably even be willing to look at these as well.
Yeah. Everything. I know everything works.
Okay.
She's just emptying out the house.
Yeah.
Mom, you know how you organized all the boxes to go to all the electronics?
What's going on with that? Is that you never used it?
Never used it.
Just stayed in the box?
Yep, stayed in the box.
Well, that's kind of cool. How much you want for it?
20.
$20 for it.
Yep.
Sold.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks kind of cool. It's early.
Yes.
He's got the video games hiding out somewhere. Big stack of old school video games.
No.
Our kid's not old enough for that.
Ah, of course. Well, yeah, but you kept your old collections, right?
No.
No. I sold them a couple car sales ago, probably.
I gotcha.
I do wish I would have kept my Nintendo.
Yeah, I wish I did too.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
How much for the Echo Dot?
Well, $5.
This is solid. This is solid. Guys, I'm guessing this thing new. Of course, it comes with these little roaches. Just like, but it's new in the package. I mean, it does look new, but I've got to inspect it a little bit further. This thing could go for like $400 or $500. Guys, ever, take coffee to go? Put the wrong coffee lid on, one that appears like it might actually work, but then one that actually won't pull off. And then when you finally do pull it off, you take like a quarter of the coffee with you, like how someone flips their hair up out of the water like this majestic thing. Same thing with the coffee. I pulled the top off and it went everywhere. It's all over me. I smell like coffee. And my pants are totally soaked. But you think that's gonna stop me from going to more garage sales? The answer is absolutely not. I'm still going. Morning.
I got a new arch rival. He jumped out of his truck. I got a new arch rival. He ran right to the stuff that I wanted.
You guys got any old video games?
Old video games. No, I don't. No, not this time around.
Okay.
Thanks, though.
Yeah. So, competition of mine, the guy was bringing out some Nerf guns, and he grabbed 3, of course, that I wanted to grab. I was already negotiating the price. He picked them up, and he got them for that price, and then brought out this secondary bag full of Nerf. I guess that's the consolation prize, but the ones he got were solid, and I missed them. You can kind of see them. They're over there. Right there. So frustrating. Got any more of this stuff? That's okay. Yeah.
So I'm stopping here because I want to throw this out there. If you guys have no issue shipping large items, 4Moms is a brand you need to take a look at. A lot of times here in Southern California, these are items that, as you know, babies go to toddler, go into little kids. Those are items I see a lot at yard sales. I used to pick these up all the time and I had pretty decent success selling them. I mean, most of these types of units, these, I think it's like the Mamaroo, something like that, they usually sell for over $100 and they're not cheap when you buy them new. So if you have the box, it's so much easier to ship. But generally speaking, if you don't mind shipping these heavy items, the sell-through rate's pretty good. It's just kind of big and it's a little bulky.
I just picked up this stack of Pokemon cards that are in just terrible condition. For no reason. I don't know why I got them, but it was a kid selling them.
Good morning, folks.
Hey, good morning.
$2. $5. Just an empty box. Does the truck have a hitch on it? Probably a 3-inch ball. What motor does the truck have in it?
It's a six-cylinder.
Turbo.
It's
I'll have to check. I don't remember that. Tap. I'll just like that. That's going back to where I just sold it a little while ago.
I'm seeing everything but old school video games.
No video games whatsoever. It was older couple stuff.
This weekend's bounty. We're about to show you a pretty fair amount of electronics in this haul. A lot of electronics. Things that I would start phasing out of my reselling business is a lot of the printers and things like that. I'm done kind of with the printers. So let me show you all of the other electronics that I still have no issue selling, and then a bunch of Nerf and some various other things. I picked that up because I've sold it before. Sells for about $30 to $40, and I got it for $5, not $10. The Echo Dot, I think I got that on camera. I got it between $3 and $5. I don't remember exactly the price. These I got at the first sale of the day, which also came with an Apple iPhone 4S. It is both password and iCloud locked, so that's worthless. But the Onkyo receiver and all of the other random items, which would be these two right here, so far they've been working, and they all have the remote, so that's fantastic. This was a Sunday morning pickup, and I didn't get that on camera, but a $5 purchase there goes for about 20 plus shipping. Here is an infinite amount of Nerf. Still selling these, having really good success on those. I think I picked that up on camera. I was able to get those and the VHS. The stack of VHS I should get around 38 to 40 plus shipping, and that would send out media mail. The blankets, I've just heard a lot of people talking about some of these knitted blankets. These, I think this is referred to as some kind of Afghan style. And with these in particular, I don't think I'm gonna be making huge money, but what I think I will be able to do here is probably sell them as a lot. And I'm hoping maybe between 80 to 100 bucks for the 4 blankets, and we'll see how that goes. I paid a total, I think, of 30 bucks for those, and I've just been too curious, hearing lots of people talk about those. This I put up on my TikTok page, so you're not gonna see this in any of the footage, but I picked this up for 20 bucks. Comps were going between 60 to 100 plus shipping, so I felt confident about that. And this was a Saturday morning. This is actually new. It is new. Some of the packaging has been opened, and I did check out to see if the VCR was or had been touched, or if, you know, a bunch of fingerprints, and it looked pretty clean. So I'm gonna sell this as open box, and considering everything else looks pristine and is still pretty much wrapped up, we'll see if I can get a premium on this, but I'm hoping I'm gonna list this for like $195. A used one goes for about $60. This down here was actually in the lot, this Festin brand, and this one, I couldn't even tell you what it does. It's a digital audio display. It's a DD740. There's one used up. Not a lot of sales on this, but I think I should be able to do fairly well. I'm gonna put 50 or 60 bucks on it, and I'd be stoked if I got that. A new one sold for, I think, 250.
Previously on Hunting with Tripler.
Bonus footage, guys.
And then on the Friday purchase, the Wii was there. I've already gone through and wrapped up the cables. Wii Sports was in there. There was a sealed copy of Wii Active More Workouts. I think that goes for maybe 10 bucks. And here's a closer look at the pickup I had on Friday. So the video you guys saw last week, you got to see pretty much none of this, but I basically said, hey, I'll buy all of these boxes, and this is what I picked up. I mean, I think I paid a total of $83. The Wii was included in that. There was a, what was it? I think a Monopoly game. But in any case, I mean, you can see these are pretty, I mean, they're just great. They're good brands. So yeah, stoked about that. So I tried to make that as quick of a summary as possible. I usually spend like 5 to 10 minutes just wrapping up everything I picked up. But if I continue to pick up some of the same items and you're gonna see the same stuff on the channel, I don't wanna keep spending all that time recapping it. If there's an item on here that you guys are curious about, if there's something in particular that maybe I'm telling you you should sell, but you're not selling it, it's not selling for you, reach out to me, let me know. You can hit me up on Instagram as well. You know, I'd like to hear what you guys think of some of the items that I have. What are your challenges with some of it? And then, you know, independently, what I'll be doing off camera is testing everything. So I'm not gonna assume that all of this stuff works. That would be a poor assumption. And that goes into my pricing. You know, spending $83 on what could be potentially worth it. Some of it could be worth a couple grand. If every single thing worked, it'd be a couple grand, but it's probably not gonna happen. Anyway, folks, hope you enjoyed that little recap. Hope some of these items can be on your radar and you make some money off of them. And that was today's episode, folks. So the electronics, it was a bounty, right? It was a really huge stack. Most of them have worked. There's only been 2 so far that have worked, but they're missing parts on the face, and I think you guys saw that from the video. So I'm actually listing them as parts, even though they actually work. It's just that it's really hard to sell those types of electronics when you're missing pieces, chunks off the front of it. Now, even though you didn't see the profit meter on this, there's just such a massive spread, and I didn't want to put thousands of dollars into the bottom line because I'd like to start selling some of those first before I get comfortable starting to shoot out a whole bunch of estimated value numbers there. It's too big of a range and it might look like I'm trying to just inflate the number, so I stayed away from it in this episode, but I haven't gone away from that format. But now it's time to talk about our profit and losses because our $60,000 goal that we are absolutely going to hit by December 31st doesn't look so good this week. Last week we left off with a profit of $3,426. Looks pretty good right here. Our costs for this last week, $5,843.77. Some of you are really going to go, what is happening with Tripler? But let me explain. So I spent $2,600 sending my games off to be graded at Wada Games, and that was a huge hit. So $2,600 makes up a pretty sizable amount of that. But what also doesn't show up in some of the footage is I buy a lot of items on auction sites, and I also buy a lot from Mercari, and I spend, honestly, hundreds of dollars, sometimes hundreds of dollars a day on those types of sites. And in this instance, that made up another $2,400 in purchases. And I make those purchases using 2 sources. They start with my PayPal account, which pulls from my American Express account, which then I get points for. I pay my American Express bill once a month. Now, of course, I always keep a 0 balance in my PayPal account. I'm not gonna go into a dissertation as to why I use that type of payment system, but I get cash back, and that's the main reason I do it. I had Amazon sales of $116 for this last week. That's okay, it's not great, it's not bad, but it's better than the $6 from the week before. My eBay net was $1,454. That was down a considerable amount from last week. Those sales are really starting to hurt. My actual profit for the week is negative $4,272. I'm in the hole over 4 grand. But let's add in the profit that I had from the week before, the $3,426, and I'm still in the hole. I'm in the hole $846. That hurts. But when those Wada games come back, you're going to see a massive spike in my sales. Ultimately, we're gonna see all of that money come back. So don't be concerned. Don't be afraid to spend a little bit of money. Next week's not gonna be any better because the rent payment is coming out today, and that's over 2 grand coming out of my account again, so the sales have gotta pick up. Being transparent can also be painful, so that is exactly where we're at today, and I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. I don't say this enough, but those of you who engage in the comments, those of you who keep watching my videos, thank you. Thank you so much. I really genuinely appreciate you being here. I can't say enough of what it means to me, the community that has come to watch Hunting with Tripler. Just a random guy talking about reselling. Thank you so much. It just goes without saying that I really do appreciate you. I try to get to all the comments every week, but sometimes I don't get to all of them, but I just have to tell you, all of you, thank you. Thank you sincerely. With all that being said, have an awesome weekend of sales, have some great finds out there, and of course, I will see you next time. Take care.
I've got a new arch rival. He jumped out of his truck. I've got a new arch rival. He ran right through the stuff that I wanted.